The more people you influence, the more responsibility you should have. A reflection on the duty of care for mass information influencers. Over the past several years, I have noticed a major shift in the way Filipinos get their news and information. More and more people are turning away from newspapers, radio, and television, and are instead relying on bloggers, vloggers, YouTubers, podcasters, and social media personalities. Whether we see this as good or bad, it is simply the reality of our time. For millions of Filipinos, the people they follow online have become their primary source of information about politics, current events, public issues, and even matters that affect their daily lives. To be fair, this change has brought many benefits. The internet has given ordinary citizens a voice that was once available only to large media organizations. Today, important issues can be discussed by anyone with a smartphone and an internet connection. Many independent content creators have exposed problems, raised important questions, and encouraged public discussion on issues that matter. In many ways, this has strengthened democratic participation and allowed more voices to be heard. Ideas can spread faster, conversations are more open, and the public has more access to diverse perspectives than ever before. This shift has given power to the people, and that is a good thing. More voices, more ideas, stronger democracy. However, this new reality has also raised an important question that I believe society can no longer ignore. What happens when a person with millions of followers shares information that is false? Not an opinion, not a prediction, not a personal belief, but something presented to the public as fact. A few decades ago, misinformation had limited reach. If someone shared inaccurate information, it might spread among a few friends, relatives, or neighbors. Today, a single social media post can reach millions of people within hours. One video can be viewed hundreds of thousands of times before anyone has a chance to verify whether its claims are true. The power of modern communication is extraordinary, but so is its potential to cause harm when used carelessly.
When we think about it, society already recognizes that power and responsibility should go together. A person driving a vehicle has a responsibility to drive carefully because lives are at stake. A doctor has a responsibility to provide accurate medical advice because people's health depends on it. A lawyer has a responsibility to give sound legal guidance because a mistake can affect someone's future. In every field where a person's actions can significantly affect others, society expects a certain duty of care. It is a principle that most of us accept without question.
Why should information be treated differently?
Imagine an online personality with 10 million followers announcing that a particular bank is on the verge of collapse. Thousands of people could panic and rush to withdraw their savings. Businesses could become alarmed. Families could make financial decisions based on fear. If the claim later turns out to be false, the damage may already have been done. Or imagine a content creator accusing someone of corruption or criminal behavior without sufficient evidence. The accusation spreads rapidly. People form opinions, reputations are damaged, and families suffer. Even if the truth eventually emerges, the harm often remains.
The issue here is not politics. It is not about whether someone supports the government or opposes it. It is not about protecting traditional media from competition, and it is certainly not about silencing criticism. In a free society, people must always have the right to question authority, challenge institutions, criticize public officials, and express unpopular opinions. Those freedoms are essential to democracy and should never be taken lightly.
The issue is responsibility.
At the same time, freedom and responsibility have always gone hand in hand. The freedom to speak does not mean freedom from accountability. There is a difference between expressing an opinion and presenting a rumor as a verified fact. There is a difference between asking questions and making serious accusations without evidence. There is a difference between honest mistakes
and reckless disregard for the truth. This is why I believe it is time for society to seriously discuss the idea of a duty of care for mass information influencers. The concept is actually very simple. If a person has the ability to influence millions of minds, that person should make a reasonable effort to ensure that information presented as fact is accurate. This does not mean requiring perfection. Nobody is perfect. It does not mean banning opinions or restricting criticism. People should remain free to say what they think. It simply means recognizing that influence on a massive scale comes with a corresponding responsibility to act with reasonable care. In truth, many responsible content creators already follow this principle. They verify information before publishing it. They correct mistakes when they discover them. They distinguish between facts, opinions, and speculation. They understand that trust is something that must be earned and protected. These creators deserve recognition because they understand that influence is not merely a privilege, it is also a responsibility. What concerns me is that we are living in an age where information can shape elections, affect public trust, influence financial decisions, and even determine how people view one another. Never before has it been possible for a single individual to influence so many people so quickly. Yet our understanding of responsibility has not kept pace with this new reality. At the heart of this issue is trust. A healthy democracy depends on citizens having access to reliable information. People may disagree about politics, policies, and public issues, but they should at least be able to distinguish facts from falsehoods. When trust in information collapses, society becomes divided, confused, and vulnerable to manipulation. That is why I believe we need a simple principle for the digital age. The more people you influence, the more responsibility you should have. Not less freedom, not more censorship, not government control over opinions. Simply a recognition that great influence carries great responsibility. Throughout history, every form of power has come with expectations and obligations. Political power does. Economic power does. Professional power does.
Today, information power may be one of the most powerful forces of all. It can shape beliefs, guide decisions, and influence the future of a nation. If we accept that reality, then perhaps it is time to accept something else as well. When influence reaches millions of people, responsibility should rise with it. That is not a threat to freedom of speech. It is one of the ways we protect it.